Welcome to the All the Stuff podcast, where we jam about money, clutter, and food, and the real stuff under this stuff. Join me, Lisa Carpenter, your resident food coach, along with my co-hosts, money coach Jen Turrell and clutter coach Lisa Sharp, as we help you release what's weighing you down and heal your relationship with food, money, and clutter from the inside out.
Hi, I'm Jen Turrell, and welcome to today's episode of All the Stuff. I'm here with Lisa Carpenter and Lisa Sharp. And normally we talk about money, food, and clutter, and we may some today too, but I really want to talk about finding ways to bring fun into your everyday life. I feel like a lot of people I know take themselves and their lives super seriously, and not to say there aren't serious things in life that we should all, give due consideration to, but if you're not actually having fun on a daily basis, there's only today. Tomorrow's always out in front of us. Yesterday's always out behind us. If we're not actually having fun in our lives today, our lives are not fun. Even if you plan fun things later, it isn't fun. You could die before you get to that thing later. So I just came back from vacation, and while going to the UK in the winter is usually not considered the most fun thing in the world, one thing that was super different for me this time, it was such a revelation, was this was the first vacation I've taken since Stu and I stopped running our ranch. We ran it for 14 years, and now I am fully self-employed, fully freelance. I figured out pretty well how to schedule things while I was gone. I did quite a bit of writing, but I had no one who could call me and tell me something had gone wrong while I was gone. There were no, disasters looming. There was nothing I had to show up for at any certain time other than what we scheduled in our vacation. And it was amazing. It was such a load off my mind. And I was like, even though my financial security is a little less certain now than it was before, I am so much happier. And coming back from vacation and watching the kids too, like how much fun the kids had, I'm trying to figure out how to bring more of that energy and freedom and free flow into everyday life when we do have school scheduled and therapy scheduled and I have appointments and clients and different things. Like, how do we still keep that feeling of excitement, like, ooh, what should we do today? There has to be little moments, little ways to work it in. So that's what I want to talk about today. What do you ladies think of it?
You mean other than the fact that I just signed up for pole dancing lessons?
Yes! That sounds awesome. Actually, driving home from dropping the kids off at school, I had a moment being like, is there an improv class I could join in Flagstaff? Which I've never done any acting. I did theater, but I was always sound and lights. And I was like, improv might be really fun. Pole dancing sounds really fun.
It's really hard is what that sounds like. I know. Well, you have to remember, right? Like,
actually, the hands.
I have a lot of strength. So
I have a lot of strength. I did one class, and my hands, I couldn't hold.
Yeah. And
the
you
pole's
get
kind of wide.
Yeah, but you can get different size poles. And then they also have, like, aerial, like, with hoops and silk scarves. So I'm just going to try, ladies. Like, stay tuned for this.
Make sure someone videotapes it.
Yeah, right?
Well, at least the aerial. I don't know about pole dancing, if you want that videoed or not, but.
It's not that kind of pole dancing. It's like it's fitness pole dancing. Although they do have classes to help you tap into your, feminine energy and stuff. So we'll see. I'm just starting with like an intro class to see if I like it. But that was something that I realized, I've been working so much at building my business and getting to this, place that I realize that I'm not having as much fun as I want to. And one of the things that drives me a little bit crazy, and this is, me being selfish as an entrepreneur, is there's not a lot of stuff during the day. Everything's in the evening, right? Classes are in the evening. And at 8:30 at night, I am not going back out again. Like, I realized, like, we went to a later workout class last night, and I realized, like, I would never leave my house at 8:30 at night. So now it's trying to open up things during the day so that I can go out during the day and clearing my schedule. But that's definitely, like, how I can bring more fun and play into my life is something that I am, it sounds funny, working at more, because there's not enough of it.
You are cognizant.
I'm seriously working at having fun.
Yeah, like I cleared a lot of my schedule this week. I'm going to take my son skiing for a day.
That sounds fun.
Like, it's so easy for me to default into my business. It's so easy for me to default being comfy and cozy at home and in my jammy pants. But the truth is, like, I'm not really living my life fully the way I wanted to live it. So the other thing that really dawned on me the other day is that, I think for a long time, having the debt that I had really was the driving force behind why I was doing so many things, right? Because I had to pay my bills and and that's not there anymore. I don't have that anymore. And I could literally cut all my hours and have a lot more time and still be totally fine, be more than fine. So I'm really like, this is some of the stuff that's going on for me right now, is what do I really want my life to look like? How much money do I need to make to have that happen? When am I going to start bringing in more travel, not just for business, but for family? And I do have a vacation plan to New Orleans at the end of April for a week to go to the Jazz Fest with a friend. And that is just purely for fun. There'll be no working. So how about you, Lisa? What are you doing for fun these days?
I'm going to meet you in New Orleans is what I'm going to do.
That does sound fun.
Yeah.
If I wasn't already heading to San Diego in April, I might.
Atlanta to New Orleans is like nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to horn in on your time. That's what I'm going to do.
I didn't know it was so close. See, I need a map up.
Well, I mean, it's, relative. I mean, flight-wise.
Got it.
No, I wouldn't hop in a car. Actually, I don't know. That's probably about a 10-hour drive. I'm really glad to be having this conversation because I really suck at this.
Although we really need this conversation. I think we all have times when we really suck at this.
This is the truth of it, right? Like, we get so good at the doing.
Yes.
Yeah. We forget about the being,
doer.
and we forget about the having fun. And, one of the things that wasn't lost on me is, and it still continues to blow my mind, when I do less in my business, I actually make more. When I was on a plane to Texas, I was like, this is crazy. Like, when I have fun, things happen. Like, inspiration happens when we're not actually working. It happens when we're resting. It happens when we're playing.
Or in the shower. Where you have hot water beating against your back and you're relaxing.
But sometimes to do things without an intention. Right? Like, there's no intention behind my pole dancing other than I'm going to have fun and see what happens. There's no intent. I'm not trying to accomplish anything. I'm not competing. I'm not
making money with it, right?
I'm not making money. No, I'm not making money with it. Perhaps I could, but I choose not to.
Without a doubt.
So what do you want to bring back into your world that's fun? And, fun doesn't necessarily have to be like carnival rides and, pole dancing. I think everybody defines fun differently. I think fun can be nestled into a corner reading a book. I think fun can be going for a walk. Yeah, right? Like
my reading corner.
Fun can be jumping out of a plane to somebody.
Oh, God.
I've done that too.
No. And it's, there's a balance, right? I mean, what's everything? There's a balance. But it's true though, cause I am totally a homebody. Like, I love to putter. Makes me, I get more satisfaction out of cooking a pot of soup than probably most people do. It really, really, gives me a great deal of pleasure. So I actually have a lot of fun every day. There are a lot of things that I do in my daily schedule that I get a great deal of pleasure and enjoyment out of. Am I having a laugh right while I'm doing it? No. But I am usually kind of having a laugh right anyway because I'm just that sort of a person. So like fun, like going to a club, going out after 8:30, that sounds like my own personal hell. I'm like super, super introverted when it comes to going out. I'm really extroverted if I'm like hanging out, talking with a group of people or whatever, no problem. But, getting me out of my house is not an easy thing to do. And I live in a neighborhood that I adore. And so I can walk everywhere. And so I am like out, but not really out. I mean, I don't leave much more, like 6-mile perimeter of my house. So this is a really good question. And I was thinking about, one of the last fun things that I did, and it was really fun, was, taking Taekwondo lessons.
I really enjoyed that. Like, that was fun. And even though it was really fun, it was still hard for me to leave the house because I'm like, no, it's hard. I have to sit in traffic and I get really, really whiny. But once I was there, I just had a blast and I wanted to do it all the time, and I would practice at home. And, yeah, so like the idea of doing something like that again is like exciting. And then I'm kind of like, oh, I'm going to have to leave. I have to leave my comfort zone.
Well, one of my clients suggested as well, I thought this was great. I think she did a 30 before 30 things she wanted to do with her husband. So they just started a jar and started tossing things in the jar. Mm-hmm. And then, once a week or once a month, they would pull something out of the jar and say, do this. And,
before 30.
Right?
Sorry.
30, I know.
I just had are any of us in our 30s anymore?
No. We could
do like 46 before 46.
Yeah.
Birthday's in October. I don't know. That's a lot.
But even something like Groupon, to go on Groupon. So Macy and I have decided that once a month, the two of us are going to get together. We live together. We're actually going to go stay downtown. We don't need to go away, but we need to remove ourselves from our environment and have, overnight adventure, whatever that may be. We don't need to stay at the fanciest hotel. We can stay wherever we want. But this last time we took out like all our, gift cards that we hadn't used. Oh, let's go eat here. We got a gift card. Let's go here because we got a gift card. So we went to some great restaurants. We ended up going to a comedy club because we could. And I said, we could just go on Groupon, buy some stuff and stick it in the jar. And then we don't even have to think about it, right? Like just keep track of different adventures that we want to have, because once we've bought the coupon, then, we got to redeem it. That's the whole point. So I'm not very good spur of the moment, but if I've got kind of things or ideas already planted, that works for me. But then it's making the time to actually like putting it on my calendar, which sounds funny. Like you have to schedule in fun. Yes, I actually do.
Oh, I totally do.
I have to schedule in fun. That's just how it is for me. And that's okay. It is okay. Yeah. It's okay.
Well, I think
we don't all have lampshades on our heads. And the world was only full of people who had lampshades on their heads. No one would be able to see anything and nothing would ever get done. We need to have diversity. It's okay.
We do.
Well, I think of having conversations with interesting people as fun to me, especially because I live in rural Arizona where we don't have comedy clubs and we're very far from New Orleans. And I mean, honestly, the options, even just for date nights in Flagstaff, there's some. We have some nice restaurants. We have some fun places to go, but not very many. So, scheduling conversations with you guys like this is fun to me. I love getting on here and talking to you guys. And I have a few other people that I try to talk to regularly. I try to have my book club, which we let go for over the holidays. And I'm trying to restart it again this week here in town with my two friends that do book club with me. I may have recruited a third, but she's on call sometimes, so we'll have to see. But yeah, so for me, those things are fun, like connecting with people who I wouldn't have access to just in real life, like really appreciating the fact that we can sit here and have face-to-face conversations when we live in three very far apart places. I mean, that was another thing being in the UK, was realizing just how far everything over here is. Yeah. People think it's really far to drive like 60 miles to do something in the UK. And I was like, Stu and I drive 140 miles to Phoenix to watch a band and drive home sometimes, not a lot because, it's hard on the kids to, sometimes we'll stay the night down there, but yeah, a lot of things don't happen up here. Phoenix is our closest. And then for things that don't come to Phoenix, it's LA is probably the closest place to go see people and do things. Yeah. So I'm counting this as fun.
Sometimes we forget that having fun can be uncomfortable.
That's
right?
True.
Like leaving our house to go do different things, it can be uncomfortable. It's like changing your habits around purging your closet or eating healthier food. Like if you want to bring fun into your life and not enough fun has been there, it's just because it's fun doesn't mean it's going to be easy to change the habits to bring more fun in, right? Like I don't want to get in my car and drive 45 minutes so I can go to an hour pole class, but that's where it's at. So if I don't start leaning into the discomfort of what it means to bring more fun into my life, that piece is always going to be missing for me. And this is why I'm on this planet, is to enjoy and have fun and breathe in experiences. And as much as rewarding as building my business is and can be, and there's so many layers to that and what I get out of it, I have to remember that I'm here to live, and I have to continue to challenge myself to get uncomfortable in other places in my life. So, and it can't just be like, oh, I'm taking a vacation here, I'm taking a vacation there. It has to be on a day-to-day basis. And just even with you guys know this, the energy that I bring to my work, does it feel easy? Is there a flow to it? Like not making things hard anymore. So even your question, Jen, thinking about how can I bring fun and play into my workday? What does that even look like? So that's something I'm going to be exploring as well. Do I need to dance around my living room a little bit?
I watch comedy every single day for my lunch.
Do you?
I do.
That's a good idea.
Lisa Carpenter approved lunch more days than not. And that's my treat. I get 30 minutes and I just watch ridiculous, usually political comedy, because I really like that.
Nice.
It makes me feel a little more sane. Mm-hmm. And my husband can't stand watching it, so it's great. So it's like my own thing.
I love that.
That's awesome. And as you guys were talking, I couldn't help thinking of this book. I'm sure you've heard of it. I think it was called The Regrets of the Dying, or the 5 Regrets.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds really depressing. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, it was a palliative nurse who ended up taking care of people at end of life. And there were these few things that kept coming up over and over, and how the main ones were relationships with people. I mean, very little of it was, I wish I'd made more money. Some were, I wish I'd done the career I really wanted instead of the one I felt I had to, or my parents wanted me to, or something. I wish I'd have auditioned to be an actor and I never did, or those kind of things. But most of them had to do with relationships with people. Like, I wish I would have made up with my mom before she passed away, or I wish I would have called my brother, or I wish I would have spent more time with my children when they were young, or, those kind of things. Or my best friend, we had that fight and I never called, and then 5 years went by and blah, blah, blah. So, I think that's good to think about too, is like, sometimes it may not sound just fun to call someone and have a heartfelt conversation, but I think it is still. I mean, to build relationships and have people spend time with the people who mean the most to you is really important too.
I'll take that over a movie any day.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And that's one thing I've really found too with doing more live events. I really like connecting with people in person. Mm-hmm. So as tiring as it can be, I've got to watch the size of event and, That's really important for me. Like, I would really love to see more, entrepreneurial meetups that aren't necessarily conferences, but it's just, hey, we're renting this house. You want to join us? And we're going to have some fun. Like, we're going to go do some stuff.
Fun, damn it. We're scheduling it in.
We're going to meet. We're going to do these things. We're going to play. We can talk a little business if we want to, because that's, what
it's inevitable.
But let's play and enjoy and have fun. And, so I'd like to see more of that as well.
Yes,
I think we should work that into our retreat is what we need to do. Which we need to talk about. We've kind of left off talking about it for a bit. But enough people have shown some interest that I think we should really do it. Don't you think so?
Mm-hmm. I think we need to actually do the planning stage.
I know. We need to get to the planning part, which we haven't done yet.
Which we will talk about when we're not actually
not live on air. Right, yes, but there are lots of fun things to do here in Arizona. So I would love for you guys to come here and me connect in person with you guys, because I've done very little of the events. I'm going to 2 in April, which I'm really excited about, to meet some people in person, face to face. That will be awesome. And I did think too, on this vacation we were just on, watching my kids have fun on vacation and realizing, especially my older daughter, Shalila, how bored she gets sometimes at home. And me wanting to make sure she continues to have more fun. Me trying to work more things in for my whole family to have a bit more fun. So, but anyways, if any of you are interested in this retreat that we are trying to plan for October but have not yet planned, let us know, and you can, give us some input on fun things. Should we wrap it up there?
I think so.
Okay. So, if you are watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment. We'd love to hear what you think.
And if you're listening on iTunes, don't forget to leave a review, subscribe, and leave us subscribe, rate, and review. How many times do I do this and I still mess it up? So there you go. just talk to us, people. Leave us a review. Let us know what you love, what you hate. Are you having fun?
We will never be professional announcers.
Oh,
no, that's not ever going to happen.
No, never.
Yeah, but come over to our Facebook group, join the private Facebook group, and we'll put a links. See, I mean, I have fun all the time.
It's fun.
Whatever.
Come talk to us. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.